Computer-generated chess problem 02517 by the computer program Chessatica. White has a rook, bishop and pawn against black's 5 pawns. So it's not immediately clear what white should do here. It's not a given that white will win. Let's say white tried something like rook to e4, hoping to prevent a promotion by black. Black might proceed with g3. And now if rook captures pawn, f2, maybe rook to f3, g2. I think you can see what's going on here. Rook captures pawn and the other one promotes to queen. And now white is losing. What about bishop to f7? Well then e2. And then if rook to e4, f2, rook captures pawn, f1 queen, maybe a rook to h2 check, king to g5, bishop to b3, and white is losing here as well. So, how can white salvage this position? Let's take a look at the analysis. You might be surprised. So as you can see, white is basically lost except for one move. The completely counterintuitive bishop to e6. Now let's say black does the obvious. Pawn captures bishop. Well, then white proceeds with d7. If f2, rook to d1, maybe e2, rook to h1 check, king to g5, and the king is in just the right place for a promotion to queen with check, so black has to deal with this. King to f4, queen to d4 check, king to f3, queen to d3 check, king to g2, rook to h4, and here it doesn't matter if black queens, because after rook captures g4, king to h1, queen to e4 check, king to h2, queen to e5 check, king to h1, queen to h8 check, black can only intervene and white mates on the next move. So capturing the bishop is out of the question. Let's say black sees this and he plays e2 instead. Here, white takes a different approach. Bishop captures pawn with check, king to g5, and now rook to e4. Obviously, if f2, bishop captures e2 and there's no threat of promotion anymore. So there's basically nothing that black can do here. e1 queen, rook captures queen, king captures bishop, rook to g1 check, king to f4, rook captures the other pawn, king to f5, rook to g1, let's say king to e4, king to b4, king to e3, king to c5, king to e2, king to b6, f2, rook to c1, king to d2, rook to a1, king to e2, king to c7, and I think you can see where this is going. If black promotes, white just exchanges the queen for the rook, and after king captures pawn, there's no way the black king can make it all the way across the board in time to stop white from promoting. Now if we rewind back to the original position, do you think you would have seen the one key move that would have saved the game for white? If so, I would say your chess playing skills are not too bad. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Chessthetica's Book of Chess Constructs, Volumes 1 through 5. Available on Amazon.